Welcome back to another episode here on Rising Voices. My name is Andres Rodriguez. Grateful to be back here for another episode of Rising Voices. And today we have another guest, Tristan Velez, one of my colleagues here from the great My Brother's Keeper program here in Long Island, from the Long Island really delegation that we have here of MBK. Me and Tristan really are the fellows of the My Brother's Keeper program up at Brentwood High School. It's great to really be here and speak about the amazing mission of MBK and the work we do. I'm going to start off with Tristan with this first question. Okay. Tristan, this past, I remember, in January, we were at the My Brother's Keeper MLK Day, which was the Martin Luther King's Day give back event.
Oh, okay.
Yes. How did you feel about that event? How did it feel giving back to the community in that way?
Okay, I really like that event because I love giving back to the community that brought me up. I feel like it was really important because some families don't have that, like they don't have that food, they don't have clothes, and I feel like it's important because we need to give back to each other. We need to, even as a community, you could like be giving back to your friends, but as a community, we should be giving back to each other, having that hand on everyone's shoulders. And that was such an amazing event. I think it was very important.
Now, have you done that event prior years?
That was actually my first time doing the event. I'm not going to lie. I should have done it last year because I didn't know it was going to be that fun, but it was really fun.
No, yeah, and I think other than just being in that moment of giving back to people, you're learning from your brothers. You're really getting to know all the other brothers from the different schools now, since MBK has grown so much over the years. But, you know, hearing now that you had fun, maybe we can come back next year after fellows. But that's great because really that Martin Luther King event is above Martin Luther King and his mission, right? His mission was not only for humanity and to give back and to be there for the people of color, but to be there for all. And I think when we do this MLK Day of Service for not only senior citizens, but for the whole community, it's great because we are giving hope and we're giving love to the people in our community. You know, and something that's really stood out to me on Monday was that during that event, I remember someone was leaving, right? And she was like, "Oh my God, like we're really thankful for the things we got. Like we were just passing by the street and we didn't know that this was going to be here. Like this was life-changing because of the things we got." And I remember that this lady was, you know, she felt thankful because something that she said was like, you know, she needed batteries because like her house was freezing cold, and you know the frigid temperatures these past few days have been impeccable. So she came up to us and she was like, and I felt scared because she came up to us. I thought she was going to yell at us or something, but she really came up to us and she was like, "You know what? Thank you." You know, and that's something we have to hear. And when we hear it, it's really inspiring because that's when you really think that you're there for a purpose, right? Not only you're there for the community service hours, but you're there to really give back. So really highlighting the moments of how we can give back to the community in such a positive way, but at the same time, you know, live up to the principles of Dr. Martin Luther King. It really is powerful, and it's change making on the work we're doing. So now we're going to get into your involvement in MBK, in your personal involvement too. How can young people get involved with MBK in their communities?
Young people could get involved, I believe, it's different in different communities. I know in Brentwood, we have it in the middle schools. I think it's north and east. And it might be west. I believe we do have west. So you could get involved in that way. I don't know if we stretch to elementary schools. I don't know if we have. But definitely, I got into it my freshman year. It was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made in my life. Like, it was like a life-altering decision. Like, being right here is because of MBK. Yeah. I don't know if I would have met you without MBK. So it's really great to be here. As well as in other communities, you get to talk. Me being a fellow, I get to talk to people from all over New York State for MBK. So it's really nice.
No, and it's good to meet people from all across the state of New York because, you know, I feel like when we're on Mastermind, and I'm going to speak about Mastermind because it's not everyone's favorite. It's not everyone's favorite thing. But speaking about Mastermind, like other than just reading a book and hearing the stories of the book, you're getting to meet people from across the state. Whether it's Westchester, whether it's Yonkers, whether it's Brooklyn, whether it's Brentwood, whether it's Elmont, whether it's Uniondale, you're meeting people across the board, Latinos, Americanos. You're hearing all the Puerto Ricanos. You're hearing really a diverse amount on a Zoom call that's really only 45 minutes to an hour. So in that hour, you really get to meet the people and you really get to hear their stories as fellows, but at the same time, you get to hear their life stories of their family members. And most importantly, you get to hear behind the scenes of what they are thinking, of the quotes they use for the book. I like using quotes for the book because really I relate them to on how I feel, right? I relate to them on my story, on my life, and I hope everyone does that too, because we get to hear a wide variety of stories every Thursday because of the Mastermind book series. And not only on the Masterminds, but even in our own schools, we get to hear stories. We get to hear, financial aid people coming into our buildings. We get to hear past alumni from MBK speaking about their journey. Those are great things, and they're great because we get to hear where we're going next, and we're going to do a little shout out again to Mr. Morgan and Ms. Pagan, because why not? Mr. Morgan and Ms. Pagan have been the parental figures of MBK, and without them, we probably wouldn't be such involved in MBK and really the meaning that it has. So we're going to go to the next question, and this is, how has MBK positively influenced your life or someone you know?
MBK has positively influenced me to do better in school. I would say I think the word's lackluster in all my classes. Prior to me joining MBK, I was just in the middle. I didn't know, it could have been going two ways for me. So I feel like MBK has positively affected me because it made me get all these connections and all these different things to where I'll be successful. And I think I feel like it also has positively affected the other fellows as well. I feel like personally you might and Lewis as well, it's life changing probably. So
it is life changing because of these stories and what MBK brings. MBK was started by Barack Obama during his administration, and hearing the main reason why it was created was to really motivate men of color. But now to here in our districts, there's a wide variety, not only men of color, but men across the board, where we're hearing Latinos, people from Jamaica, people from really Latino communities and anywhere beyond, all different cultures. And that's really good to hear all different cultures, because it really shows on how we are all united. We are all mostly united than divided. And I feel like that's what we need more in our lives, how we can be more united as people than divide each other, because that's really not what we need at the moment. So, and I'm thankful for that, because I feel like MBK has given us a platform to really become better versions of ourselves and become beacons for the next generation. Everyone, we're going to take a little short break. When we come back, more here on Conexion Latina's Rising Voices Youth-Led Podcast. Hey everyone, this is Andres Rodriguez from the Rising Voices podcast here on Conexion Latina. This episode and podcast is thanks to Liga La Justicia Abogados. Do you need a free consultation? They speak Spanish and they have over 30 years of experience. Call them at 1-800-355-1234. This is 1-800-355-1234. That's Liga La Justicia Abogados. Welcome back to Rising Voices here on Conexion Latina. We have Tristan back here with us and really hearing the inspiring stories of MBK and its impact on us as MBK fellows. Now, we're going to go back to this question, Tristan. It says, what do you envision for the future of the MBK initiative?
MBK is going to become, even right now at MBK size, it's really big, but I've been hearing plans that I don't. Well, we're not doing that trip anymore. I forgot where it was, but
It was to Ghana, I remember.
that was going to be a crazy trip. But MBK is expanding to more schools. It's becoming greater, and I love MBK for empowering people's voices and like the youth. It's really great. So for the future of MBK. And in Brentwood, it's becoming larger. We've been branching out to middle schools. So for the future of MBK, I think it's going to be huge.
No, yeah, and I feel like in Brentwood alone, I feel like every school district, I think, only can choose 2 fellows. And Brentwood, we've chosen like 4.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. That's crazy because we have to know that we have over 5,000 students only in the high school, and we have over 18,000 in the whole district of Brentwood. So when we speak about the large number we have in Brentwood, there is a lot of students who are really there and who are going to be going through the doors of MBK. And I was speaking to Miss Pagan, and in the system, there's registered 51 members for MBK only at the high school. So when we speak about other school districts, yes, other schools, there's probably 5-6 members, but we're speaking about probably over 100 kids only in MBK high school and only MBK Brentwood, right? So that is a large amount of students. And the good thing is, like, for example, when we go to parades or when we go to community events, we meet different members and we meet new kids from the MBK program, which is really good because we get to connect with them and really give back to the community in such a great way. So when we envision MBK, we really envision it on really growing. And we have great mentors for that. So that's why I feel like it's going to continue growing and really becoming great for everyone, right? And a welcoming space for all. All right. This is another question for you, Tristan. What measurable changes have occurred in communities with active MBK initiatives? So what events have we done that really you only see MBK doing?
Some events that we have done, I know personally my event was we're installing fire alarms in the Brentwood community. That was really important because imagine a fire starting in your house. You don't have a fire alarm. What are you waking up to? You're waking up to you burning, to just be quite frank.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was an important initiative, but it was like more partner with MBK, but that was also the Red Cross, I believe. So the Red Cross, really cool people. Yeah. Also another event.
What was it with?
The MLK event. Can I say that one again?
Yeah.
That was a pretty. I don't know why. It just kind of hit like, and you were talking about that story with the woman and how she felt grateful. That was really like, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And that's eye-opening because, I mean, when it comes to, like, for example, when you were doing the fire installing for the fire alarms, that's great because, that's something unique, right? It was a partnership with MBK, but it was unique because we were doing it with a different organization, but we were helping out people in our own community. Something I hear also that we haven't done yet this year, but something that I look forward to is the home visits. That's something that is empowering, not only for us, but to really guide the next generation on the work that they really want to do. When we hear about home visits, we hear about students that really are needed, right? That don't feel heard. So I think the word of, how we can help them and motivate them to really pursue high school or pursue college or post-secondary degree, I think that's great that we can be there for the next generation and really help them out in any way possible. So I really like, MLK Day, always a hit. Home visits, I can't wait to do. Really, the fire alarms, that is an amazing initiative because we need those fire alarms in our houses, especially now hearing what's happening in Los Angeles with those wildfires. You don't know if it can happen here or not. So we have to really be cautious and really we have to send our prayers because it does happen. So a fire alarm is mostly well needed. Something that I'm going to speak to Tristan about is, his smile. And I say that because Tristan always is coming into the room with a big smile into the room. And that's something that we need more of. And that's because, when we go to MBK, we be saying hi to one another. And yeah, that's normal. But, there's just people that bring that automatic positivity or really just bring that sense of humor or something like that. And that's Tristan right there. You walk into the room. I've never seen Tristan sad. Well, maybe he's feeling sad, but he's always having a smile on his face. And that's really good because, I mean, Mr. Smith, Mr. Marvin Smith from EOC of Suffolk, and one of the mentors, I remember he would call Tristan Smiles. And that really embodies Tristan because of him always smiling. And that's really great because really a lot of people are just like serious. Like you're just like serious all the time. But, you know, Tristan is really just, you know, you spread that positivity in your own way. And that's really good because we need more of that to this day. Damn, I'm rhyming somehow. But that's really good that we have people like Tristan, and we have, you know, the fellows this year really are great. Like Brett, I wish he was here. But Brett has been an influential part. Brett and his sibling, Benny, they both have been influential parts to the MBK mission. And they embody that, you know, the reason why Barack Obama started this program, to uplift and to give back. That was Dr. King and Barack Obama's idea of this program of MBK. All right, so Tristan, after high school, where am I seeing you? Where are you going? What's going on?
All right, after high school, the dream school right now is Baruch College. I would major in business administration, much like the older fellow Louis Velasquez.
Velasquez.
Sorry, I butchered it. But yeah, I want to own my own welding company. Welding is the most underpaid trade, I believe. But if you own your own company, if you build your own company, you're going to become at the top soon. And another goal of mine, I see myself in the next 10 years going back to Puerto Rico. I think it's really important as that being a part of my ethnicity and all that. I want to go back and build something anew there, because Puerto Rico, I feel like it's getting bought out by a lot of big corporations of America and all that. It's becoming like Hawaii situation, how it's being bought out for tourism and all that. I think it's really important. So I want to go back to Puerto Rico, and that's where I see myself probably for the rest of my life.
That's great. No, and that's great because you have a step already. You have a future, and you envision something already, a plan. You have a set plan ready to make some change out in the world. And that's great because, you know, you want to be an owner of a welding company, but at the same time, you want to buy land or you want to contribute to your ethnicity, which is really great. I want to go to Puerto Rico, most importantly, help out the homeless communities over there. There's a really high homeless rate over there. I want to go and help out over there. I want to go back to Colombia and help out over there. I want to go back. I want to go to Central America. I want to go to El Salvador and really help out the communities, you know, because even though I'm Colombian, I think that as Latinos, we have to unite and we have to really give back to one another. Not only Latinos, but everyone across the board. If you ever need help, really look out for it, right? Be thankful for one another and, you know, be there for each other. That's what we're here for. All right, everyone. We've had a great show here today with the awesome Tristan Velez. Thank you for joining us here on Rising Voices. It has been a great show. We want to thank really Tristan. We want to thank Louis. We want to thank all of our guests from the past shows. Thank you for joining us here on Rising Voices, the podcast here on ConexcionLatina. Thanks to everyone. Have a great year. This is 2025. Thank you for joining us. This is Rising Voices.